So I wanted to take the time and talk to you guys about relationships in this video, because that is another topic that still people want to know about, especially if you are new to relationships. It could be that you want to be in one and you think that you don't know enough about what you can expect when you get into a relationship, and it could be that you are in one at the moment but you're not too sure about what is there, like how do you know that it's a good one? How do you know it's working out for you? And I honestly understand that there can be all these question marks that happen, because whenever you're trying something new, it could be that you want it to be the perfect way, but nobody's really told you, and it may be that other people don't really support you on it. So it makes it difficult to know, am I really in a good relationship or am I not? Like, what's going on here? So by understanding a relationship, you've actually got to be in the situation yourself. So I want to start though, for those of you who are single, and what's the whole, like what does it feel like being single and not being in a relationship? So I'm putting myself in your shoes for a moment and just reminding myself of what I was like before I got into a relationship. Now I remember there were these thoughts about what I wanted. Okay, so when you are considering a relationship, you do need to have an idea of what you're looking for, but obviously you don't know what you're looking for until you've met someone. And it could be that with people, or you know, whoever you've been interested in, you have a crush on them, you've got these infatuations, but you haven't actually made the effort to say something to them, and it can be a little bit scary. So anyway, I just want to, that's not the right word. It can be very new. That's it. It's just new. That's how you want to look at it. So when I was single, I used to hang out a lot with my own gender. Like, I had really great girlfriends. Now, when I say that, they were friends that were girls, okay? That's it. So they were just girls that I would hang out with, and we'd talk about boys a lot because that's what we were interested in. And sometimes you would hear some of the girls talk about how they had done this naughty stuff, or it could be that they've made out or whatever, and it just, you'd hear that and either you'd be really jealous about it or you'd be really keen to know more. And I remember before I got into a relationship, there were certain things that some girls who said that they were in relationships made me, you know, like a warning sign in my head. Like, I thought, that's not what I want in a relationship. I want to be respected. I want to feel good about myself. I want that person to really understand where I'm coming from and be true to me, be honest and trustworthy. So I had actually made myself a list, and I had put it in my cupboard because it was a place that I would look at a fair bit. And it was a list that I made sure this is what I wanted to have in a relationship. I would write down things like the type of guy I'm looking for. He's got to be trustworthy. He's got to be respectful. We've got to have some sort of understanding where we can negotiate things. I can't remember specifically the list because I didn't keep it, and I think I probably chucked it out after a while, but I certainly had an expectation of what I was looking for. Now, does that mean that I had the perfect relationship at the very beginning? No, I didn't. So if you ever do get into a relationship like straight away and it's your first one, it may work out, but don't be disappointed if it doesn't. All right, there's a lot of stuff out there that makes us believe that the first relationship we have is going to be the everlasting perfect one. Not true. It doesn't always happen like that, and I also believe that when you're in a relationship, you've got to make things work for the both of you. Okay, so I got into my first relationship, and this is, when I say a relationship, the way I see it is that person is wanting to be committed to me. They'll make an effort to visit me. We'll spend time together, and the times that we have, we are talking, we are doing the things that we love together, whatever that may be. In my case, it was hanging out with friends, watching movies. We went to cafes. There were times when we would, you know, just hang out and eat food. And sometimes it was also helping each other. Like, I had this situation where I'm just trying to remember now. I think so like I would be moving house, so I would need help with moving house. It's just like whatever sort of situation you're in, that person is able to help you out with it. So I don't want to give out names because it's the past, and I don't think it's important to have a name. But my first boyfriend was somebody that I had met on a website called Tagged. And to me, he was pretty good looking. So there was definitely that physical attraction, and you'll probably go through that as well. The first one will be, he looks good or she looks good. I want to be open to you guys out there. So whoever it is that you're interested in, they look good. You're attracted to them because of the physicality. He was tall. He basically made me feel like I was safe. He was kind of simple as well. Like, he didn't come across as somebody who had too much to say. It was very simple sort of talking. And to be honest, when I first met him, there was like, he was good looking, sure, but there's a feeling of being in love with him didn't start at the very beginning. I think it took a process until I really did fall in love with him. But yes, he was good looking. And so then there was other things that he would do that I was really attracted to. Like, he had a really good singing voice. So listening to his voice was just really impressive for me, and I'm a musical person, so I guess anybody that sings really well sort of captures my heart. I was just in awe of him singing. And I was also aware that he was devoted to his family, that he had a previous relationship, and I don't think he was quite over it, but he wanted to be. So I know that sounds really complicated for some people, but I also believed by talking to him that he was over her. And I knew that they were still friends on Facebook and stuff like that. So there was a little bit of me questioning him. Are you still like into her or not? And he was, at the time he said to me, nothing's going on, and I believe that. And I felt that, you know, okay, so I think this is something that I want to get myself into. What was hard though was the fact that we were distant in the relationship. So we didn't see each other every day. It was more like every weekend or every second weekend. I think at the beginning he really wanted me to believe that it was going to work, to the point that he would come over every day, or we were together for a week, and then he made it clear that well, I just got the impression that he just wasn't going to be there every weekend. And I think there was this insecurity with him, well, a couple of insecurities he's had with being, he just wasn't very good at communicating. So when something happened that maybe I had said or done and he didn't like it, there was this underlying feeling of he's not happy with what I'm saying, but he doesn't really know how to talk to me about it, like not able to give me a solution or a way to fix it. Okay, so there were times when that happened, and having a distant relationship, and on top of that he didn't like talking on the phone, because apparently he didn't like talking on the phone due to his voice or something weird like that. I don't even know what that was all about. I almost felt like I was going to have to be the one to make the relationship work and tell him what to do. And in a relationship like that, can I honestly say, I'm going to tell you honestly, that it's not really something that you should be investing your time into. If you are feeling that you have to make it work and come up with ideas to make it work, clearly it's too much. It's not going to work that way. You both have to make that point of wanting to try to understand and communicate with each other. I know that I managed to have a phone call with him, but it wasn't going to be often. And for him to be going away a lot, I wasn't happy with that. Like, that just wasn't going to work for me. And he'd come over and I really looked forward to it, but I didn't feel like he had all his priorities straight. He sounded like he'd been in debt, he'd been gambling, and you know me, I'm a big believer of the law of attraction, so I know that things like winning, you do put money into it, and it's great when you win, and it's okay if you don't. But to me, gambling is completely the opposite of saying buying an occasional scratch card. I think he was investing a lot of money into stuff that just wasn't good for him, and his family was in debt, he was in debt, so he was wanting to buy a house for his parents. And I just thought, so what about us? Like, when are we going to have a place together and all this sort of stuff? And there's just lots of question marks like that made me think that this is something not quite right about this, and I just didn't want to invest my time in it. So I think at first, it's going to sound really silly to say this, but I'm going to say it anyway. He broke up with me first, and my emotion at the time was, okay, yeah, cool. Didn't really know how to feel, especially because I didn't know how serious he was about breaking up with me. I'd never really had someone say to me, I can't do this anymore. Those were basically the words he said. I just can't do this anymore. And I thought, okay, I don't know what this anymore is, but cool, fine. You're just gonna stop seeing me. Fine. We didn't really discuss it, so to me it just was like an open-ended whatever. And I think it was like a couple of days after that, I just couldn't stop crying. I felt like I was missing having somebody who understood me, because from living with housemates who had a couple of disabilities, I wasn't understood as well. They were beautiful people, by the way. I have no problems with people with disabilities, don't get me wrong. If you are out there and you're watching this and you have a disability, I think that there's nothing wrong with that. I think that maybe life is a little bit more challenging for you in certain areas, but that doesn't make you any less beautiful. You are who you are, and you'll make it work no matter what. I'm just saying that the people that I shared a house with, the disabilities meant that there were certain things we didn't talk about, especially a relationship, because none of them had ever been in one. And oh no.
I was making.
Hey, so we're at our friend's house and we've had the barbecue. It's coming up to about 10 o'clock at night, and Greg has had a little bit of alcohol, so we're gonna have to wait until he's okay to drive and then we'll head home. But it's been a really great night playing this new game with friends of ours called Dig It. I'll show you the cover when I can. But no, it's been good to catch up with everybody, and it's lovely to see where our friends are living, and they're obviously very happy here. And now she's 28 weeks pregnant and she's expecting her baby in September, so it's very exciting, and she's doing really well on her pregnancy, and I wish her all the best. I didn't get to film what we ate or, you know, us playing the game, because it may not be okay for everyone to be filmed, but at least I'm having a chat with you guys. And yeah, I look forward to sleeping tomorrow morning. Oh, excuse me.